What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Good, the Bad and the Stupid. It's Thursday the 19th of December. Hope you're well. Welcome if you've not been before. It's a podcast on all the podcast channels, which you'll probably know because you're listening right now. It's also on YouTube as videos. So take your pick if you want to see my pretty face or you want to listen to my sultry tones. It's one or the other. Or just turn it off, listen to something else because it might not be to your earbuds or to your taste. Not like what was I just reading just now, that the sound that Brits most like to hear is the sound of rain. Number one sound is the sound of rain. Pitter patter on the windows. Well, I can safely say that has been. I used to like that, the sound of rain on the windows, but over the past 3 weeks, I can pretty much say I'm sick to fucking death of hearing rain patter on the window. It's nice when you're in nice tucked up and cosy and watching. You know, you haven't got to go anywhere, but when you're hearing patter on the window when you wake up in the morning and you know you've got to walk in that shit for the next fucking 5 days and it's forecast. It ain't the nicest sound in the world. Also, other sounds were the sound of the waves crashing in. That's a good one. I love that. I love the sound of the waves and the sound of the wind and the rain and the waves all at the same time, if you like. But I like it on a CD or something, not actually in real life. Not like in Australia. They're getting their 40-degree heat today. They've got like the hottest day on record in some parts of Australia. I mean, that's fucking amazing. And I always remember when I used to live in Australia, come this time of year, come the winter, I'm always, like when we're getting this weather and we're getting all this bombardment of like rain and bloody miserable kind of dark days and whatever, I always used to, my mind would project me back to Australia and imagine what it's like there now, because I always know it's coming into their summer as we're going into this kind of weather. And I always just think, shit man, I want to be on the other side of the world, you know. So next time I've got to get it booked in advance, like my mate who's just gone over to New Zealand, but he booked that in fucking March. So, you know, you try and book to go to New Zealand now, you're talking, you know, it's a lot of money just to do it on the hop. So you've got to book it and plan it in advance. So maybe this time next year, Rodney, I might well be in Australia. What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, it's episode 102. I think this is episode 102. I forgot now. I forgot to say that it was the 100th birthday. I had a 100th birthday. I should have sat with a bloody birthday hat on and a birthday cake. Give myself 100. I've done 102 of these. I'm still talking into space, but it's all right because all you Martians and all you aliens are all listening to me going, we like this guy. That guy we're going to leave alive. That guy we're not going to fucking exterminate when we come down and destroy all those fuckers that are ruining that God-given place, and we're going to take it for ourselves. But that guy that we've been listening to, the Brummie, he can stick around because he's our kind of humour. So you got to get in there. It's going to be like Star Wars, that bar on Star Wars, you know, when it's all multi. I was going to say multicultural, but multi. What would you call many aliens from different places? It's multi-planetary, and there's going to be me in there sitting with my 10-eyed, bug-eyed mate, smoking on one of those pipes, and we're all going to be just watching the world go by. But all you lot, I'm afraid, you ain't going to be around, so I'd befriend me if I was you, because you might want me to save your life when they come. What am I talking about? Anyway, we're here to do the news, and oh yeah, the Queen's speech was today, and there was nothing in there for the working man, and promises have been broken already. So all you that voted for £10 minimum wage and whatever that was going to come first thing as soon as the election was over, unfortunately that ain't coming. So you'd have to fucking tighten the waistline for the next 5 years, because there's going to be a lot more of those to come, I'm sure. Anyway, Trump has had they're trying to kick Trump out again. They've been trying to kick Trump out since day one. He's been like, I can't even pretend to know what the hell goes on in American politics. All I know is that a lot of people don't like him and a lot of people do like him. But the ones who don't like him have somehow managed to get a fucking crowbar underneath his presidency, and they're trying to jimmy him out the door. He's been impeached, and apparently there's no way that he can stop it now, and he's going to have to go to a meeting at the Senate, because they're the only ones who can tell him, who can kick him out as president. So he might resign, otherwise, like President Nixon did, or he'll have to be told by the Senate whether he can stay or go. And apparently, according to what I've read, they think that the Senate will override the decision to impeach him, and he won't be kicked out, basically. So he will still carry on and apply, well, try and get into for a second term. And you bet your bottom dollar, if he does that, all those people that are his supporters will come out in fucking force, because they'll find it undemocratic, which is what just happened to Labour over the Brexit votes. They'll find it undemocratic, and they'll fucking hit them hard in the voting booths, and he'll be back for another 4 years. Then it's civil war. Then the world's going to... But it's all right, the aliens are coming, so don't worry about it. They're all going to be taken out. And it's going to be a new beginning, maybe. This is the lady who might be able to pay off a few of the aliens. She's just earned 323 million in a year. Fuck me. After a 277 million last year. And that's the lady who runs Bet365. So betting's well and truly still up there in, like, you know, people still spend a lot of money on betting, is what I'm trying to say. But Bet365 seem to have the big chunk of the fucking pie. Imagine that's just what they're getting. Look at how many betting firms you see advertised. It's constant, isn't it? It's like, I mean, I've got fucking other vices, so betting's not my, my number one go-to. But some people, there's betting everywhere you go. Foxy Bingo, Bet365, Ladbrokes, William Hill, it's poker. You name it, it's fucking coming at you left, right and centre. I just don't pick up on it, you know. When I go in the casino, I end up doing something totally different. I don't really end up sitting at the tables. I find it boring. Fuck me, I went to Las Vegas once. There was always one of us who was there who ended up getting tied up in a game of blackjack or something at a loss. So they always wanted to win their money back. So he was always hanging around for people. It was like being in a big, massive arcade or something, you know. It wasn't to my... But if I was going to get 323 million pound, I think I could be swayed to enjoy betting a lot if I was going to be taking that kind of money. So all you got to do, I mean, betting is pretty much in the banker's favour, isn't it? So if people are chucking money at you, you're going to have your winners, but you're going to have mostly losers, and that's where the edge goes to the house. And they're doing the conga. She's doing the conga. Extra 57 million pay rise, basically. Well, I should have grew some brains. I was good at maths as well. Maths is my best subject at school. Maybe it's not too late. You've only got to come up with another idea, another marketing name. You know, Bet365 is like, it's not even the best name out there, is it? But they know what they're doing, obviously. It's all about social media and stuff, I think. Bricky scoffs pastry in 35 seconds. Forget about your 57 million pound pay rise. This guy knows what's good for him, and he's like, his prize, all he wants is the prize to become world champion pie eater. Is the World Pie Eating Championships, and he downed a pie. He scoffs a pastry in 35 seconds to become the world champion. So I wonder if he's been training all year like Rocky, you know, fucking sprinting up the stairs and press-ups and, you know, getting all in ready to scoff that pie in 35 seconds. It don't even sound like that long, does it, 35 seconds? I reckon I could do that. How big was the pastry? It was a meat and veg pastry. 35.4 seconds. That ain't even that long. It'd have to be about that big. But anyway, it must be harder than what I'm making out. But he's the world champion. He don't need money. He's got a trophy. He's got a big fat belly. And he's been working on that. That's how he's been putting in his training. So, and he's probably been having to work on his jaw, not swallowing, just fucking letting it slip right down like the yard of ale. You know, when you drink the yard of ale, that's a skill. I think that's got like 4 cans of lager. I remember I bought one for Christmas once, and it's got 4 cans of lager approximately in the yard, and you tilt it, and you're meant to sort of not use your swallow or just like your gag reflex. You just down it straight in, and it's pretty fucking grim because you end up choking it. When you don't do it right, you end up choking what's just been in your throat back into the glass, and you got to drink that because otherwise you get battered by your mates or something. So, well, it did with our gang anyway. You just got to fucking, you got to do your, you got to stand your corner basically. A dad thought he ordered an 8-foot inflatable Santa, and he got a 25-foot giant one instead. So there's a faux pas. Good job it wasn't a blow-up doll with like a fucking pair of tits, or a male one with a massive big inflatable dick on it. At least it was just a conventional Santa that's turned up. So anyway, they're how much did they pay for it? Well, maybe he got a bargain then if he paid £100 for it. He thought he was willing to pay £100 for an 8-foot one. He's got double for his money, hasn't he? So, yeah, he's going to be annoying his neighbours by dumping that on his front lawn. You know, those people who have got, like... some people are just... They're subtle, you know. I like the subtle decorations. They're nice, make the house look nice and that. Then you got the ones who are just like a fucking... it's just like a brain fart to you. You walk past and it's just blaring. It's like, you know, every tacky decoration you could find, and they're doing it in October, so you got 3 months of it before Christmas has even come. They've got all the music playing, and you know, tacky as shit, and they love it. I know a guy in Birmingham got it. He did it last year. Was it last year? He did it, and he put it up a day before Halloween. Fucking hell. So he went flying the flag for the fucking, you know, the convention, or the, you know, typical. That's not a typical Brummie. That's like, you know, typical chav, and you can find them in any town. He's not specific to Birmingham. Thank you very much. You know, that's just pissing your neighbours right off. Anyway, let's move on to Del Boy. Del Boy is in the race to become. Del Boy and Basil Fawlty are set to battle it out to become Britain's greatest comedy character. TV bosses have come up with nearly 200 people from sitcoms from the 60s to 2019. Well, sorry Basil, but Del Boy all the way for me. Del Boy's number one. Absolutely fucking amazing character. In fact, all of them could be in a row. Del Boy, Rodney, Grandad, and well, definitely Grandad, Rodney, and Grandad. Del Boy, Rodney, and Grandad. You know, and then some of the other characters could easily fit in along the way. Trigger, fucking hell, come on. Yeah, Only Fools and Horses. All the early ones, I mean, the later ones, they were good, but nothing could patch on the younger ones, the early ones. They were brilliant. I can relate to it, that's why. But anyway, Basil Fawlty's not far behind. If you could stick them all in like fourth or third place, you would. But and then you got Ricky Gervais in The Office. That's got to be up there as well. But there's millions. There's hundreds, should I say. Me, I'll be in there. I'll put myself in the top 10. Nobody else will. You've got to back yourself, haven't you? Britain's first darts. I was talking about darts the other day. It seems to be popping up in the paper all the time now. Maybe it was because this lady's won Fallon Sherrock. Fallon Sherrock, strange name, but she's just won a match against in the World Championship, PDC World Championships, and she's played and beat a male. Not that, you know, I was just. Of course, she can beat men. She probably beat many men in the training or in the pub and everything. But she's playing in the PDC Championships. I didn't know you could have men and women in the same tournament. So she's up there and she's fucking going for it. And she's doing it on behalf of all women because that's just a starter for. I don't think she's the first, but I don't think many have played, and I think she's going to start a big wave of crossover. So darts might be forward thinking that, because not many sports, I don't know any sports that cross over between men playing women. So good on them. She's still going to be there, all the fans like that with the fucking Viking hats on, and I don't know what her name is, but they usually got some witty names, haven't they? Some witty, what's it called? Nicknames. There was that one guy, the big chin. Yeah, he has got a big chin, but he's like, he's taking the piss out of himself, isn't he? I think they call him Super Chin. That's it. He's got like a massive chin, and there's a picture of him on the back like Superman with a fucking huge chin. Like, oh, it's brilliant. And then you got that other guy. I don't even think he's got a silly name, but he's got a silly hair. He's got the worst fucking haircut I've ever seen. That Mohican. And he sprays it a different colour every time, and he's got like paints a snake on his head, and he wears like whatever his hair colour, he matches it with his trousers and everything. I'll tell you what, he's up there with the guy who put his decorations up a day before Halloween. He really has got no fashion sense, but that's his thing. I think his thing is, I've got no fashion sense. I've got no fashion sense, but I'm brilliant at darts, and I stand out, and I'm banking money. So whatever works, whatever takes you to the fucking top, innit? I've done that. As being the hottest day in the world. Right, I'm going to finish up on a few. I'm going to keep them short, keep it tight. Paul McCartney said that he used to have to reassure John Lennon that he would be remembered, because John Lennon was, he would say, "What are people going to think about me when I'm dead? Do you think people will wonder if they will like me?" And well, it's a sad thing to have had to said, because he is dead and everybody loves him. So unfortunately, I'm not allowed to tell you, John, not unless we got a Ouija board, but everybody loves you. You're still, even now, you're still it's not as poignant, what's the word? You're still as relevant as you ever was. So, if not more. So, don't be worried about your legacy, because I think you're going to outlive most people. Most people that are dying now, they're soon forgot, but you know, I think you're going to be around forever. Right, I've taught myself. I don't know. I forgot what I was going on about. Then let's move on. Oh yeah, and so, you know, even like and George Harrison, but John Lennon more so, because George Harrison, you know, he's still a legend, isn't he? But I think John Lennon stands out. I think it's the way that he went, really, because it was just so sudden, and fucking everybody was just gutted, wasn't they? It's almost like a Kennedy moment, you know, when somebody, a legend is taken just like that. Right, okay, we're going to move on to lose. Nearly 2 in 3 of us are embarrassed by a part of our home. The majority are most ashamed by their loo. See, we got John. I was going to say we got worse things to worry about. Here's us, John Lennon, worried about whether he's going to be remembered after he's dead, and then he got shot. And here's us worrying about fucking what your loo looks like for, you know, when a neighbour comes round or something. Oh, don't let him go into the downstairs loo. Well, if you've still got carpet on your loo floor, I'm sorry, you deserve to be fucking embarrassed about it. Anybody that's got carpet, remember that carpet on the loo floor? That must be the most disgusting, like germ-ridden fucking piece of carpet. You couldn't clean it, could you? Unless you had the shake and vac then, didn't you? People would vacuum it, but you don't vacuum up fucking piss. Anyway, so anyway, the good old 70s, the old days. We know more now, don't we? I don't know what room in the house I'm more embarrassed about. Probably my room downstairs, where I've just chucked loads of stuff in there, and I've opened the door and I go, oh fucking hell, I can't even sort that out. I can't go in there. I just think, I don't know where to start. I'll shut the door and then I'll come back to it another day. It's stuff that's come out of a storage that I've got to sort out and sort through. And I've dumped it in a spare room, and now I'm like, can't be bothered, you know, out of sight, out of mind. But not for John Lennon. John Lennon's out of sight, but never out of mind. I'm going to keep coming back to that because I fucked up earlier on when I was talking about it. So, John Lennon, not out of sight. Out of sight, not out of mind. Right, I'm going to finish up on one more thing. Where are we? Arnold Schwarzenegger has described seeing his son Patrick's sex scene as an experience and a half. The Terminator said that he was watching a film, because he's an actor, apparently, of course. I didn't think it was a porno, I was going to say, but accidentally watching a porno, and all of a sudden your son walks past and he's like, hang on a minute, do it with a money shot. No, he said his son was, his acting was extraordinary, he's so talented, and then all of a sudden there's this sex scene. It was wild, but nobody told him. He said his wife called me and said, just saw Patrick's movie. He didn't tell me anything about it, and all of a sudden there's his naked butt there having a sex scene. So there you go, you're all part of the territory if you're an actor. I must admit that would be the most tough scene to deal with, because if you've ever been like on a film set and you see and everyone's all standing around with the boom mic and the clipboard and all that kind of stuff, and not that I'm any kind of actor, but I've seen it on smaller like independent type stuff, and you've got to act like there's just two of you in a room and like give it all fucking passion and everything. It's hard enough to do that when there is two of you in the room, don't you? Need a few little liveness or something, a few drinks to get you in the mood or something. Anyway, that's what you'd have to do on set. Sneakily, neck a tequila in the toilet and then come out and like go, yeah, man, what time we film? Let's get it on. Right, okay, I'm going to leave it there. I don't know what I'm going on about. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you again tomorrow. See you later. Bye.